All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the DFS experience for Wednesday, January 3rd. This video is brought to you by our friends over at Thrive Fantasy, the player prop website where you can play against the house or play against other players in contest format. You do get a deposit match up to $250 if you use my promo code DFS Chapo, or you can use the link that's in my description. All right, so we got a 10-game slate. We're only going to go over DraftKings. Obviously, my player pool for DraftKings would be my player pool for FanDuel. However, if you need any type of additional help or assistance with a player or my recommendations, just throw it in chat and we'll help you. We're going to start with point guard Luka Magic, 11-5, fire him up. SGA, 10-5, fire him up. Absolutely in play. Trae Young's in play. Should be if you could get a little mini game stack out of here, that looks something that would be fruitful. Halliburton's in play. Going up against Milwaukee again. You know these guys like playing each other. This is another game I won't mind stacking. I prefer maybe one or two Pacers and maybe it's hard to stack Milwaukee because the players that I want are priced up. But I do like Brook Lopez on FanDuel. All right, Morant's in play against Toronto. Donovan Mitchell against Washington looks crazy. You should drop 60 on their heads. Devin Booker, not really interested in him after his lackluster performance with Kevin Durant. Anthony Edwards, 9.1, too cheap for his upside. Scotty Barnes is priced appropriately. Emmanuel Quickly is now starting next to him, taking up some of his usage. And that should bring his fantasy points down just a little bit until they get acclimated. But Scotty Barnes is still in play because, he gets steals, blocks. He does a little bit of everything. No, he does a lot of everything. So Scotty Barnes is still in play, but his upside isn't as high now with Emmanuel Quickly right next to him. Brunson, 8.9, fire him up. Lillard kind of goes underlooked whenever they go up against Indiana because everybody rosters Giannis or they roster Halliburton. Lillard's a good under-the-radar play. Fire him up. Harden's fine. The big three, the big four is healthy in LA, so be careful with that, but Harden's fine. Cunningham should carve up Utah. He's been playing very hard and playing very well. You got to play Cunningham if you get a chance. Simons, we got to pay attention to him because that's going to throw a little bit of a wrench into our Portland guard selection. Obviously, you got Scoot Henderson, you got Brogdon, you got Shaedon Sharpe. Now you'll have Anthony Simons, so pay attention to that. Kyrie Irving, I'm not interested in. Van Vliet, you could take a shot. Brooklyn's an absolute dog shit. The entire team. The entire team has no heart, no drive, no motor, no nothing. Just a fucking JV team rolling around there getting paid. All this fucking guy, Mikal Bridges, could do is run around smiling, talking about he's Chipotle. Fuck you and your Chipotle, bitch. Go do something on the court. You overpriced son of a bitch. Wow. You fucking derelict. Get the Brooklyn Nets off my screen. I'm not playing not one Brooklyn Net until they show some type of pride and dignity. I don't give one fuck. Let's continue. Who's here? Who's next? Who is next? Okay, Brogdon. We're paying attention to that news. Murray's in play. Kobe White's okay. I don't like fucking around with the Knicks. They slow that pace down, and fantasy points go right down the toilet. McCollum been playing very well. He's been underpriced. Minnesota is a very good defensive team. Be careful fucking around with Minnesota too, because your fantasy points could get stuck. Bradley Beal, another guy, 6,900. What did he do with no Durant? 34 minutes, 30 fantasy points. That's probably his ceiling. His ceiling is probably 35 fantasy points. 36. So I'm not wrong. The ceiling is 36 fantasy points. So if you're paying $7K for a guy with a bad back and fucking look, I'll be honest with you. The slate not looking too hot because a lot of these guys are unplayable, especially these spend ups. Bradley Beal is risky at that price with his upside. Dinwiddie just spoke about Brooklyn, off the radar for me. Quickly 6.4 on DraftKings is kind of pricey. He's gonna get the minutes. He's gonna get the shots. He put up 31 fantasy points and missed, and only hit 5 shots. I can play him. I can go back to him because he has an upside. He has an upside in Toronto. Poole, sometimes he's okay. Henderson, we're gonna pay attention to Portland news. Sexton's in play. Marcus Smart, I'm not interested in Marcus Smart. 10 fantasy points last game, unacceptable. If you say, well, Marcus Smart had a down game, you want to go right back to him, then guess what? Go right back to him. On a 10-game slate, I don't need Marcus fucking Smart. Tyus Jones is okay, nothing spectacular. You see what I'm saying? This slate is dog shit because some players are overpriced, and then the players that are priced decent are in tough matchups. When I'm picking my players, I'm looking at matchups. I'm looking at who can I take advantage of. I love seeing teams go up against Utah, but now we're talking about fucking Detroit, the worst team in the league. I like Toronto because Toronto sticks to their starters very heavy. You see, but now you got Quickly next to Barnes, and that's gonna put a wrench in things. So I like to target certain matchups. That's how I do it. I like the Atlanta OKC game. You got to get those pieces right. I can't play. I'm taking Brooklyn out of my player pool. They have no heart. I know I sound like a broken record, but they really got me mad. Why am I so mad? Because I played Mikal Bridges. Cam Johnson was okay. Cam Johnson comes to play. He doesn't get a lot of minutes, but he comes to play. What the fuck is Mikal? Mikal Bridges thinks he's him. You better focus on the game, pal. You fucking goofy bitch. Alright, who's next? This guy got me pissed off. Who the fuck is next? Schroeder, 6K off the bench. Very risky on the 10-game slate. Westbrook, is he still playing 18 minutes? Now the gang is back. 18 fucking minutes. Whoop-de-doo. Right on the money. These fucking coaches are so predictable. Giddey, 5'9", he played some more minutes today. Or last night. He played 27 minutes. 42 fantasy points. You think he's going to recreate that? I don't think he's going to recreate that, but he's absolutely in play. Fucking Bruce Brown, I'm not interested in. Bruce Brown, Bobby Brown, Billy Brown. I'm not interested in none of these motherfuckers. What's he going to do? Start, hit 5 threes, get 2 steals and a block? Like, what the fuck has he done for us lately? Listen, what do I always tell you? You're only as good as your last game. He's been playing like shit. 10-game slate, you don't need to play fucking Billy Brown or Bruce Brown, whatever the fuck his name is. I know what the fuck his name is, but when he starts playing better, I'll call him by his real name. Fuck him. Conley, not really playable. I mean, he's playable, but he doesn't really do much. You got to get lucky. Like, he's not going to shoot 6 shots. You going to win a tournament with your point guard taking 6 shots? No. Let's continue. Keontae George, is he coming off the bench? 29 minutes, 23 fantasy points. That fucking looks like a scrub to me. 22 minutes, 14 fantasy points. 24 minutes, 18 fantasy points. 28 minutes, 33 fantasy points is good, but what's the pattern that you're seeing here? He's less than a 1 fantasy point per minute player. Playing on Utah, where they play a lot of players. Not good for business. That math don't math on the 10-game slate. You feel me? Who else is here? Nemhard? Oh, shit. This might be Bozo of the week. See what he's been doing. 25, 20, 19, 30, and 1. He got hurt, so we could throw that out. He's not reliable. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. If you play 5.3 for him, and you get 20 fantasy points or 19, early night. You see what I'm saying? You're going to be sitting home watching court TV. It's going to be an early fucking night. You're going to be pissed off. We're not trying to do all that. What's next? Who's here? Porter? The fuck's Porter supposed to do? Donovan Mitchell is back. 6 minutes. What I tell y'all, you play Porter when there's no Mitchell and no Garland. I warned y'all. So if y'all play Porter and y'all caught the wrong end of the stick, that's what y'all get. for not listening to Professor Chapo. Let's continue. Does some know the rest of these fucking derelicts down here? I don't want none of them. Who the fuck plays Derrick Rose in 2024? That's what I want to know. When the fuck has Derrick Rose completed a whole game? Yeah, he left this game early too. He needs to retire. I don't give a fuck if you're a Derrick Rose fan. I don't give a fuck if you've been watching him since Chicago. I don't give one fuck. What can he do for me now? What can he do for my DFS lineup? Absolutely nothing. Anybody else down here in play? Absolutely not. You want to play DeLon Wright on a 10-game slate? Early night. You feel me? Listen to me very carefully. NBA DFS is always evolving. It evolves day by day, week by week, month by month, week by week, day by day. It evolves. You got to evolve with it. You see what I'm saying? That's how you win. Baines in play against Toronto. I actually kind of like him. Paul George is always in play, but you never know which one of the big three is going to go off. Middleton. If Middleton is out, then Giannis gets a bump. Lillard gets a bump. The starters get a bump. Mikal Bridges, 7,200. My man was almost 9K last year. Now, have the mighty have fallen. What he needs to do is fucking retire and go work for Chipotle and serve me up some beans and rice and some double chicken. That's what the fuck he needs to do, because he ain't doing shit on the court. Let me stop. Jalen Green in play. Strus, if you want to take a shot. Levert's in play. Barrett 6'3", fire his ass up. I'm not interested in Tim Hardaway Jr., but he's not the worst player in the world. Jaden Ivey, if he starts, you can take a shot. Clarkson's in play, should be popular. Shaden Sharp is back, should be popular. Grayson Allen's in play. Mathurin's in play at 5.5. Not interested in Gordon. That little bitch talking about he don't know what his role is. Listen, you fucking goofball. You're playing next to Durant and Beal and Booker. What the fuck you think your role is supposed to be? Fucking stay in the corner, stay open, and hit your shots. These fucking NBA guys are like little fucking girls. I swear to God. They want these super teams, and then when they don't do nothing, they cry. You fucking little bitch. Get this guy off my screen. Caruso, you could take a shot. The rest of these guys, DiVincenzo, you could take a shot. I think he's found himself a home. Beasley, if there's no Middleton, I hate to say it, he's in play, but you know what he's going to go out and do? He's going to go and brick 8 threes. I could already see it on my crystal fucking ball. Who else is here? Kennard, you could take a shot if you need value, but I wouldn't, I'll wait for value. I always tell you that. And Kassan, that's his name. Kassan Wallace is value. I know he pops in the optimizers, but he pops in the optimizers when there's no real information yet. So y'all gotta be patient. You feel me? I've seen a lot of lineups with a lot of bad value plays, and that's because people ran the optimizers and they just played what the optimizers told them. You gotta understand, if you run a crunch before the news comes out, it's gonna tell you anything. You see what I'm saying? As far as value goes, that's not the real value you're gonna use to win contests. Gotta be patient. All right, who else is here? DeRozan, dog shit. Kawhi, you could take a shot. Brandon Ingram, absolutely in play. Tough matchup though. Markin is in play. Jalen Williams is in play. Bojan's in play. Nope, I'm lying. Bogdan from Atlanta, 6.6. He's in play. Bojan, 6.3 is in play. Tyree Eason, you could take a shot, but kind of pricey off the bench. Exum, not interested in. Abria, you could take a shot. Buddy Hield, you could take a shot if you're feeling frisky. I don't trust Buddy Hield. 21 minutes, 3 fantasy points. I rest my case. Let's continue. Neesmith, if he starts 5.6, you could take a shot. Still risky. Herbert Jones, 5.5, you could take a shot. Patrick Williams, 5.4, you could take a shot. But I think he got hurt. I'm not too sure. Don't care. Not playing him anyway. Dort over my dead body. Who else is here? Norman Powell, you don't need. The rest of these guys you probably don't really need right now. Before we go to Power Forward, if you're new here, welcome. Appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the bell, thumbs up. Absolutely important. If you're struggling to cash, I know the NBA is a shit show. You ain't got to tell me. I can absolutely help you. I can send you my finalized optimal lineups, or I can build you your own lineups. Send it to you right before tip off. I got NBA, NFL, NHL, whatever it is. I got you. We have a lot of people in the Patreon now. I've been building multiple lineups when necessary. If I like a lot of players, then I build multiple lineups. When news comes out, I update the lineups and send them shits out. So if you want current optimal lineups, holla at your boy. Patreon's linked in the description. Let's go to Power Forward. All right. Giannis 11-9, absolutely in play. Julius Randle's in play. Siakam's in play. Kuzma's in play. Zion, tough matchup, but he's absolutely in play. Jaren Jackson Jr. 7-5 looks good. Jeremy Grant looks good. Be careful with Portland getting blown the fuck out. Jabari Smith Jr. has been playing well. Cam Johnson 6'4", price went up. Jalen Johnson 6'3", I love playing him. Sadiq Bey's in play at 5'9". Bobby Portis has been letting me down lately. I've been vouching for him, and he's been fucking playing like a fucking can of Spam. The fuck is 16 fantasy points going to do for me, my man? You got one more chance, bitch. I'm going to start calling you Billy Portis. All right. Who else is here? OG 5'6". They're playing. They're fucking around. Too cheap. Lock them in. 35 minutes. That's all I care about. This is OG. 35 minutes. He took 12 shots in his first game on a new team. You're going to get the rebounds. You're going to get blocks and steals. Fire up fucking OG. And he fouled out. Fire his ass up. 5.6. He should be your first man in. I don't give a fuck. You feel me? Professor Chapo said OG goes in first. You feel me? Jalen Smith 5'4". I don't know. I don't think so. I don't trust him. 12 fucking minutes. Whoop-de fucking do. Jabari Walker. Everybody's healthy now in Portland. I guess you can still go to him. But 25 minutes, 22 fantasy points. I think he got most of that in garbage time. Not too sure. Got to rewatch the fucking game. Josh Hart, you could take a shot on. Collins, Okongwu, but Naz Reid. Final Chekio. If he starts, you could take a shot. Me too. Me too. If he starts, you could take a shot on Me Too. They prefer Me Too over Eubanks, and I prefer Me Too. You feel me? Me Too. I prefer Me Too. Okay. What the fuck am I saying? Who else is here? Finney Smith, if you're desperate. And for example, a lot of people play Najee Marshall because the optimizers told them to play Najee Marshall. But the optimizers told them to play Najee Marshall because there was no real value. More than likely, if you play Najee Marshall, you lost very quickly. It was a blowout also, but still, there was a better value than Najee Marshall. You got to be patient. You got to be very patient when building these lineups. Because I seen Najee Marshall too in a crunch, and I just looked at the optimizer and I told the optimizer to get the fuck out of here with your Najee Marshall shit. You see what I'm saying? The rest of these guys I can't play. Maybe Aldama if I'm desperate, 4.2. But I can't play the rest of these guys. Nope. Kenrich Williams was another one that I seen a lineup. So my FanDuel lineup cashed last night. One of my FanDuel lineups. And I was looking at the other lineups. I seen a lineup with Najee Marshall and Kenrich Williams, and I knew I won already. I knew I was cashing. Because how the fuck can you play Kenrich Williams and Najee Marshall in the same lineup? Like, why is Kenrich Williams good value tonight? Why is Najee Marshall good value tonight? You got to ask yourself that question. Who are they replacing? Whose minutes are they taking? Can't just look at an optimizer and run it because there's a human element that is going to be the difference between cashing or going to bed with your thumb in your ass. You feel me? Okay, who else is here? And listen, don't be mad at me. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm trying to hear. I'm trying to help y'all win. And let's go to center. Let's wrap this shit up and let's get the fuck out of here. Sengun 8-9 absolutely in play. Should destroy fucking Brooklyn all by themselves because they have no heart. Drummond, I don't think I need him at 8.4 against the Knicks, but there is no Mitch Robinson, so you could probably take a shot. What the fuck is Isaiah Hartenstein going to do with Drummond? Nothing. Holmgren should feast against Atlanta. You could probably lock him in too. Jared Allen should feast against Washington. I'm definitely playing double centers already. I can already see it. Nurkic is in play. Looks better with no Durant. Claxton's another bum. No heart. 7-3. He's an okay play. Still has no heart. Gobert's in play. Miles Turner's in play. Duren's in play against Utah. Valanciunas back to his 24 minutes because Larry Nance is back. Capella 6'4", you could take a shot. Zubac 6'3" is in play. Gafford 6'2" is in play. Pirtle 6'1", I like. Lopez 6K, I prefer on FanDuel. Hartenstein's in play 5'9". Lively, I'm not too hot on. Kessler, not so hot on. And the rest of these guys, maybe Day'Ron Sharp if you want to be cute. But other than that, oh, and Larry Nance is value if there's no real value. But it's a 10-game slate, so there will be value. Listen, you're not subscribed. Very important. You're not subscribed. Subscribe. Hit the bell. Thumbs up. Check out the Patreon link in the description. If you need lineups, optimal lineups, up to date, optimal lineups sent to you right before lock. I think that's it. Hope you had a profitable Tuesday night. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. If you need help with FanDuel, throw it in the chat. If you need help with anything, throw it in the chat. And I'll talk to you guys later. Ciao.